Good morning, YouTube. Casual Tommy on my way to work again. It's a bit of a wet, miserable day. Get married in less than 2 weeks, so I'm a bit concerned about the amount of rain that I've been seeing. But I'm choosing not to dwell on that. I don't want to wish rain into existence. So a quick wristwatch check. What have I got on today? So you can probably guess. My little vintage Omega Seamaster Cosmic, 1966, gold plating, beautiful collar reb strap. I don't remember which line it's from. Probably my favourite thing's the buckle. It's got the gold Omega buckle with their logo. It's gorgeous, gorgeous watch. It's my everyday watch. As I saw John Mayer say, this is my watch that I put on when I just want to wear a watch. So predominantly for work. So what do I want to talk about today? Well, I want to start a new series about bringing online discussions into the real world. So, as most enthusiasts are, I'm part of many different forums, Rolex forums, Seiko forums, Facebook groups, Australian Watch Forum, the Urban Gentry Watch Club, various different platforms for discussion between enthusiasts, and I contribute, not a lot. I do definitely offer an opinion when I have a valid one, and I really want to try to I thought I'd make a series about me bringing those discussions up, raising those topics, and trying to hopefully create a dialogue. So taking an online conversation and bringing it IRL. That's what I'm talking about. So the discussion I saw last night that sparked this was in the Urban Gentry Watch Club, a Facebook group. It's quite a good group. The moderators have been known to be a bit dodgy sometimes, but overall, the group runs very well for like 40-odd thousand people. The group's doing pretty good. I was one of the first members of that. I joined that group 2 days after it was created. I am an OG Urban Gentry Watch Club member. Never been kicked out like a lot of people have. Never been warned. I don't even intentionally follow the rules. I think the rules are just pretty reasonable, if you ask me. Anyway, so the conversation that started was, how much money would you have to have in the bank for you to want to spend $5,000 on a watch? It was asking £5,000, but that question scales, so I'll just say $5,000. The poster said that he would need $20,000 to $25,000 in a bank account before he would spend $5,000 on a watch. And I think that's an interesting question. That's a very interesting question. There were a few ideas thrown around, and from my perspective, the answer changes depending on a lot of circumstances. It's not just how much money do you have in the bank. There are a lot of other factors that are at play here that would answer this question specifically. Some people were saying enough so it doesn't touch my buffer account. Now, I can relate to that. I have a specific account to the side where I put money away for my luxury items, be it astronomy or tabletop miniatures or watches. I've got my own separate savings account for me to... It's a disposable account. It's an account for me to use on luxury goods. I've set my finances up in that way so that I can do that. So that if I want to go and buy a box of Space Marines, it doesn't cost me it doesn't affect any of our business as usual money that's delegated to other areas, right? I've seen a few people talk about enough to replace your car in case of emergency. Now, that's a good idea. I think it's very narrow-minded. I think these people do need some financial advice. Not from me, maybe from the people who gave me financial advice. But yeah, that was an interesting one I saw. Was you need to have enough to replace your car in time of emergency, and then anything on top of that can be spent on luxury goods. That's an interesting perspective, I think. I think all of these can work, right? I mean, hopefully the people answering these questions have spent $5,000 on a watch. I think that's pretty it's pretty important if you're going to answer the question about spending $5,000 on a watch. One guy said, after my mortgage is paid off. Once again, very noble, very, very real answer, I think. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think once you've paid off your debts, you can. But for example, I know a lot of people that are $2 million down on mortgages across their portfolio. Now, admittedly, he doesn't own a watch because he doesn't care about watches, but I don't think it would be bad for him to buy a watch just because he's still in debt with mortgages, because he earns enough money. My opinion on the matter, or at least my answer and my perspective, there are a few, as I said, there are so many factors at play. If you're looking at just money in your bank account, I would say enough that you can afford to lose it. So, one thing they say about watches is that it's a great, investment's not the right word, but it's good to have money tied up in something that you can draw upon if you ever need. So if you're in China and you can't afford a flight home and you've got a Rolex on your wrist, you can typically use that watch to pay for your flight home. Now, I understand that. It's a good concept. My opinion is you have to have enough that you can afford to lose the watch. So if you've only got 10 grand and you put 10 grand into a watch with the mindset that if an emergency arises, you can sell that watch and then reclaim that money, that's not right for me. I think you have to have enough that you can lose the watch and still afford to replace it again. Or even if you don't want to replace it again, enough in your bank account that it won't affect you. As Crystal A would say, it doesn't make a dent. Another factor that comes into it is income. Do you have enough? It's okay to spend 100 grand on a watch if you're going to make that money back in a short period of time. It's all to scale. It depends on how much money you earn. Can you afford to run your bank account dry because you know next week you're going to get paid $5,000? If you earn $5,000 a week, which I'm sure a lot of you do, you can probably afford to spend $5,000 on a watch tomorrow because you're going to get all that money back immediately. One thing is how much your wife is going to let you spend. You've got to make sure that watches don't affect relationships. That's going to be one of the topics I saw that I thought about chatting about, which I probably will, is how to hide and then reveal an over $1,000 watch purchase to your spouse. And everyone was giving the guy advice. Everybody was helping the guy lie to his partner. And I mean, just think about that. Strangers on the internet giving a person with a real life advice on how to lie and disrespect their partner. I think that's just it's just stupidity. It's a lot of things. It's gross. It's irresponsible. It's funny. It's a lot of things. But ultimately, this guy was taking advice from people on how to head towards divorce. Urban Gentry Watch Club. Which road should I take that'll lead to a faster divorce? I'll have a nice watch on my wrist, but the rest of my life might start crumbling. If you're in a point in a relationship where you're lying to your wife about your watches, that means that you either don't have enough money to afford those watches and you should stop, or that means that your relationship is already shaky enough that you can't be honest with your partner. That's the discussion. That's the discussion, is do I need this watch? And what's wrong with my relationship? How can I fix it? Not how can I continue this terrible behaviour. So yeah, anyway, to stay back on topic, the original discussion of how much money do you need to have in a bank to afford a 5k watch? I say enough money that if you lose it, it doesn't make a dent, or enough income streams that the money replenishes itself fast, quick enough, right? That the money's going to be there again. What's your thoughts? What factors are at play if you were to spend $5,000 on a watch? I'm really interested to know your thoughts. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm trying to get a bit of a following. Now, I've got a giveaway on my Instagram, so go find my Instagram. It's casual_Tommy89. You'll find pictures of watches, and you'll see the latest post is a giveaway. So I am giving away a brand new Seiko 5. I do not remember the reference off the top of my head. It's one of the Pepsi bezels. It looks quite like an SKX. It's a bit bigger, I believe. I'm giving that away once I get to 500 followers, which I'm at 200 as of this morning, so we should be there pretty quickly. And I'm giving away a Seamaster Cosmic. It's from the 60s. It's not this one, but it is one that I love just as much. It's one that I'm giving away because I already own 3 Omegas, 2 of them being vintage from that same era. I've just had it serviced, so that watch will be given away at 1,000 followers. So I'm going to draw the prize on my YouTube channel rather than my Instagram. All you have to do is like the photo, follow my Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then you're in the chance to win a Seiko 5, beautiful Seiko 5 actually, really good first watch, or an additional beta into your collection, and the vintage dress piece of a 60s Omega. So thanks guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.